Hello, flat earth researchers, debaters and debunkers. Thank you for joining me on this flat earth rant and ride here in Phuket, a very wet Phuket, still the monsoon season. I might title this one something like extreme curvature equals extreme cognitive dissonance. It's amazing, it's frustrating, it's kind of hilarious, but it's also very sad that grown men can be so childish and just show such extreme cognitive dissonance when it comes to this belief that they are seeing curvature of a globe Earth when looking at these pylons stretching across Lake Ponchatrain. Even on my video where I've mentioned that kind of that I had to do in response to whatever his name is, who'd used one of my videos, but anyway, I mean, again, just anyone with any ounce of sense and discernment, common sense and discernment, and especially given the fact that you know, defenders of the globe love to say things like, you just can't see curvature until you get really high up, and the Earth's so big that you know, curvature is so slight. Yet they see this picture of pylons going across Lake Ponchatrain, taken from a very low level near the water, stretching what, I don't know, 19, 20 miles at the most, I think. I honestly don't know. But of course no one's actually measured the amount of alleged curvature that they're seeing. But either way, it's just so extreme. It is so obvious that it's an optical illusion, and this is a repeatable observation that anyone can do by putting a camera low on the ground and seeing that things just above the surface, when you're looking at the low level and you are zooming in as well, this also makes a difference, will make things above the surface appear to curve down at the limit of where you can see the vanishing point, as it were. And of course, again, just got to point out that those pylons, if that was curvature, if you believe that's curvature, you believe you are on a tiny, minuscule, itsy bitsy little globe. I mean, you know, I mean, it's just, you don't do yourselves any favors. You are your own worst enemies to you know, and it's people like Wolfie, and who is, you know, there's a pilot apparently who is smart enough to get it. He does get it, I'm sure, but we all know this is it. Flat earthers know about the cognitive dissonance that goes on because we've all been through it. Most of us at first had some difficulty when coming across flat earth, coming to terms with this idea, and of course all the so-called proofs that we've been taught, we've been told since we were kids, come to mind, and there are thousands and thousands of little things to go through, little proofs and stuff that you do go through and do research and think about and experiment with, come up with ways of making comparisons, and then you eventually realize we are not on a spinning ball. There is no measurable curvature on the surface of the Earth. And then you realize how ridiculous, how upside down, back to front the whole thing is. But we know, we understand the cognitive dissonance because we've been through it. And the older someone is, the more their life and career even has revolved around this belief in a globe Earth, then of course the more difficult it is to let go. And we just see these excuses, these ridiculous, childish excuses, and lack of reasoning, and lack of discernment, and cognitive dissonance kicking in to just say, no, the Earth's a ball, that's it, that's curvature. done and dusted, no argument, no debate, that's it. And you know what, the thing is, we all know you're crapping yourselves, you're shitting your pants, yeah, because what flat earthers are pointing out is true. You can't see any curvature. Horizons are not curvature. They are an optical effect that just happens in our eyes when you look across a flat surface. Yeah? So, you know, in my mind, the smart defenders of the globe lost all credibility when they jumped on those pictures of the pylons across Lake Ponchatrain. Yeah? If you'd have said, oh, well actually, yeah, you know, that can't be curvature, or if someone had actually gone and kind of made some physical measurements and been scientific about it and said, well, that's 19, 20 miles, the curvature should be XXX, and well, you know, judging by that, it's not really, you know, but no, this is the thing, when they see some kind of, and it's just like the whole double sunset thing as well, raising a drone up to see the sunset twice and saying, that's curvature, we're looking down the curve of the Earth. But there's absolutely no science, no maths applied to that, it's just an assumption and no argument. That's the way it is. It's just an interpretation. It really, and it's but it just shows how, yes, we are brainwashed, we are conditioned, you know. So people talk about how could so many people be in on this conspiracy. Well, look at any of you guys trying to defend it. You all just totally believe it without question. That's how they pull it off, yeah? And the thing is, you know, if you believe it, then and you're not questioning it, then that, you know, that goes for everyone else. And again, all these people in, like, whatever, this conspiracy cats guy who's tried to call me out as well. I can't be asked to do response videos and stuff, really. You know, I don't want to get into this tit for tat and making hit pieces. You know, but you can just see that someone like that who's a teacher, his whole life, his whole career is based on the belief that we're on a globe. The language of mathematics that he teaches in the classroom and he studied in order to become a teacher was, you know, all based on, you know, this is a language created for the globe, yeah? And so there is no way, the thing is, it's too late for him now because he's got his fans and he's done his anti-flat earth videos and tried to debunk flat earthers. You can't go, there's no going back for the guy now, so he's just gonna make silly hit pieces and sit there and make funny videos and stuff like that. Yeah, flat earthers were doing that kind of thing to start with about 3-4 years ago, just kind of, you know, experimenting, messing around and kind of, you know, having a bit of just making videos for the first time maybe, but I might have done the same thing a few times with some of my videos, but really it was what's behind it is this passion to point things out and kind of like help people try and understand how I arrived at the realization that we're not on a spinning Earth. Yeah, people talk about, oh, bring us your model, bring us your map. Okay, a model. What's your model? Has anyone ever done a model, a working model of balls spinning around other balls in free space because the one ball and the other ball has mass? No, they haven't. They can't do it. Okay, and you ignore all the other things on the Earth that are real science, like magnetism and frequencies and all this kind of stuff. And you can actually, you know, it's been shown that with magnetism and dry ice, you can have something that, you know, a block of dry ice going round and round and round, floating in the air, locked like the moon would be locked in an orbit, as it were, going round and round this ring of magnets. And you know, there's a working model of what, you know, of the flat Earth, yeah. And you know, magnets that have a north pole in the center and a south pole around the outside. A ball magnet doesn't have the north pole in the center like we're told to believe the ball Earth is. And this is it, you look into every aspect of it, the spinning iron core and the distance radars can travel and gyroscopes and just this is, and of course people accuse flat earthers of not doing their research. They have done their research. You can't video log every single piece of research that you do. You know, and you might spend days, hours, weeks or months, whatever, going through a particular aspect and this is the other thing with anti-flat earthers and globe heads, is they, you know, we all understand that we know we have been taught to believe how smart we are because we can perceive ourselves from an external reference frame, from an external perspective, and we can perceive ourselves being on this ball for XXX reason. Yeah, and of course we have to perceive and believe that there is an external force of gravity that allows us to do the physically impossible, stick to the outside of the sphere. We all get that. We all understand that it's kind of like it's a step in it's a kind of a mental step that is kind of maybe appears to be slightly more advanced than just looking at things as you see them. We get that. We understand how this is supposed to be some kind of sign of cleverness and smartness, that you can get it or you can do the maths or whatever. But that's the thing. People refuse to come down off their high horses and look at it at the fundamental level and discern the difference between knowledge and belief. We all know what we're supposed to know. We all know that we're supposed to be, you're supposed to bounce around on the moon because the moon has less mass, etc. And it is very difficult to get away from the idea that it's all spinning balls out there. But this is, again, it's got nothing to do with our physical reality. Cannot be repeated. You cannot make a model. So the model of, flat water, I can show you, anyone can observe flat water in a container, anytime, anywhere, yeah? But no one can model bending, curving water, not contained, that doesn't flow down a curve, yeah? There you go. So if you can come up with one of those, then there you go, you've got your model. But the flat Earth model is flat water, and the globe Earth model is bendy water, and you can't reproduce that kind of model. All right, thank you very much.